Hello everybody, it's the Groupeteer and I'm back again with another episode of Nope. I'm back again with another Steven Universe vlog. Wow, I don't think I've ever messed that up before, huh? And today's episode is crack that whip, meaning the whip, not the Silento one, the Devo one. Crack the whip, crack with the hats. They have hats, and their hats look like triangles, but round. Alright, this is like the 8th vlog I've done today. Not really, but yeah. Alright, cool. So, anyway, in this episode, Steven and Connie show up for sword fight training, but Pearl and Pearl and Garnet are going off to go check where Jasper might be, so Amethyst is left back at the temple to watch the kids. So, they go outside and they do a little bit of fighting, and Amethyst doesn't really watch them, and when Connie asks why, Amethyst says that in the heat of a battle, you don't really need to know all this stance stuff. You need to trust your instinct, really, trust your gut, as she says, and really, what your gut tells you to do, that's how you fight, and that's how you win. So instead of, keeping training, Amethyst takes them on a fun day all around Beach City. They get all kinds of, donuts and soda, and they just have fun. Later in the day, they go to the beach to have, play in the water and stuff, but when they're at the beach, that sandstone-ish, giant creature that was in the last episode comes up from the ocean and starts to attack them. Steven and Connie destroy it. Well, no, Steven and Connie don't destroy it. Amethyst destroys it, but then the other one, the blue and red one, comes up with Jasper. So Jasper's back again, comes up from the ocean. Jasper says that she's building an army an army on Earth with these two things she's made. Or not made, but, the two things she's found. Kind of like Pokemon. I'm thinking these are like Pokemon now because, she's, collecting the gems, and now she's using them to, fight. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so she and, the group get in a fight. Amethyst takes on Jasper, and Steven and Connie take on the big monster-looking thing. And when Jasper and Amethyst are fighting, Jasper, who is a superior version of what Amethyst was supposed to be, being a fighting quartz, I think it is, like how they said in the kindergarten, kind of just destroys Amethyst, both, physically and mentally, saying, totally beats her up, but also says, she's worthless, she doesn't mean anything, she's weak, and to be honest, she was being weak. She lost to Jasper, she was poofed by Jasper, she eventually did reform, but Jasper destroyed her, and only when Steven and Connie fused together into Stevani did they poof the giant blue, beast thing, and also not defeat Jasper, but make her retreat back into the ocean, which is where I guess she lives now. Amethyst comes back in a nice little white tank top sort of thing. I think it's a tank top. I don't know how girls work. And sees that Stevani defeated Jasper, or, made Jasper retreat all by herself, or himself, or all by itself, I guess, and questions if, since they did it alone, is Amethyst, do they even need Amethyst at all? And that's kind of where the episode ends, is on Amethyst doubting herself, which is great. Terrific. So yeah, this episode was really heavy. They keep getting heavier, don't they? Here's the last episode. It's going to be like a burden on my back when I'm done. I'm going to get spine injuries. So yeah, this one was, safe to say, it was pretty deep. Obviously it starts out really, really just, goofy, playing around, and it's not until Jasper comes in that this episode's really like, oh, crap, because Jasper destroys Amethyst, legit, Amethyst is boom, she's destroyed. Jasper, and like I said, both physically and mentally, Jasper says some messed up caca to her, and it really gets, it really gets to Amethyst, because, not only is she talking about how in the heat of battle, instinct is what you want to do, when she goes with that way, when she goes with, her way of instinct in the heat of battle, it doesn't seem to be working. The tactics seem to be working. This is a personal fear that I always have, that when somebody points out something that I've been doing wrong, especially if that's something I've been doing for a long time, you're kind of questioning your own, oh my god, people have said it about the vlogs before and stuff like that. If somebody points out something that you've been doing for a long time, and they say, hey, that's not how you do that, you're like, oh my god, have I been doing everything wrong? And that's sort of the what happens to Amethyst in this episode. And you can tell that it really gets to her, especially at the end of the episode. And that's a side of Amethyst that we really don't see too much. She's fun grape mom is what you Tumblers call her. But this is Amethyst, like, legit just, like, doubting herself. I think Amethyst is, while, characteristically the weakest of the gems, she's my least favorite. That doesn't by any means mean that she's, a weak fighter. I'm saying this like I'm going to offend her if I say, like, she's weak. She's a fictional character. But I digress. Those sort of things like that, obviously, everybody thinks they have some worth, except me. I'm a piece of loathing garbage. But everybody thinks they have some worth, and when somebody, especially in this case, what you could have been, I guess, like, this is like the beginning of Mega Man X, when Zero comes in, and he's like, you could be me. This is like the opposite of that. This is like, you could have been me, and look where you are. You're weak. And it's like, that's like, boom. I mean, obviously, that's never happened to me. I've never had a far superior person who interviews, cartoon creators and makes Steven Universe vlogs, like 20 in a day, come up and be like, hey, you could be like me and actually have an upload schedule. But, like, obviously, you can understand what that sort of means if somebody would come up to you and do that. It's like a boom moment. And, I found it really effective how they did it in this episode. Besides that, I know these vlogs have been really short, but honestly, I can't think of too much else to say about it. I like the interactions with Steven and Connie. Connie really had no chemistry before with Amethyst, and so I like that, they actually, introduced an episode where Amethyst and Connie were working together, and it wasn't just a throwaway episode. It was an episode that's obviously going to play into the rest of the storyline. So what does this mean we have right now for storyline things in these, this day I've been making vlogs alone? It's the triangles, and there's Amethyst doubts herself, and there's those giant beasts that Jasper's doing. What a summer adventure Steven Universe is turning out to be. Am I right, or am I right? Because I'm right. But I really like, I really like Connie and Amethyst relationship. Connie's sort of a Pearl type, but obviously there's a few scenes where she, I'd point to the scene where she's going swimming, where she'll let herself go, she'll have fun. That scene is so adorable. Connie's so adorable. I want a Connie. That sounds really weird. But Connie's adorable. Like the scene where she's like swimming and she's like, I don't know if I should. Okay! And she does anyway. It's stuff like that that really shows the chemistry and the change of a character too. But besides that, not much else to say. Pretty good episode. Can't wait to see how Amethyst gets out of this one. Oh no.